Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Entrepreneurship in Focus. I'm your host, Marlon Joseph, and I'm very excited to be here. You guys would notice that we would have adjusted our time from 8:30 to 6 p.m. so that we can interact with you guys before you get sleepy, as well as I can get off the road soon because we know what is going on in our streets. Persons are becoming more and more vicious. Notwithstanding, I'm happy to be here where I can interact with you guys once again, whereby we continue to grow as iron sharpens iron. I must let you know that the Together We Win Business Network, the organization to which I lead, is hosting Guyana's SME Investment Conference from July 14th to the 16th at the Police Training Center. For more information, persons can reach out to me on 652-1959, and they can get everything from how to register, how to access booth spaces, some of the speakers that are going to be available, and how you can participate in this conference. So that is it for our conference. If you want more information, you can do so by calling, WhatsApping, or following the flyer on your screen. This evening, we've got a really interesting guest in studio. He visited our studio the last time, and from since then, I continue to call his name on the show because of the impact that he has created. I must also let you know that I have a group called The Boardroom, whereby different business owners are able to come together and talk about ways in which they can help each other to grow. And I would have shared that video and I asked them to assess it and their take, and all of them gave positive feedback. And I use that video as a motivational video because the story that was shared, the content, is relevant. It can help you grow and position yourself as you want to succeed. So that young man I'm speaking about is right here. He's no other than the Guyanese Critic himself. So welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Marlon, and all the best on your business conference.
Thank you.
I'm hoping that it is as impactful as you are, and again, all the best in your new endeavor, this conference, and I'm hoping the Guyanese public could really get something from that. Not public in general, but the business community could learn something from you, and you could take away something from this, because this would be your first such conference.
The second. But this one, we're focusing on investment.
Okay.
Investment into entrepreneurs, investment in SMEs, because there's a current complaint that persons are struggling to access finance. So the conference seeks to provide an opportunity that says to people, here is what we have: businesses that are in need of finance, come and see how we can support them. Let them try to waive some of their heavy requirements so that SMEs can tap into the resources and grow their business.
All the best in that, buddy.
Well, thank you very much. So the last time you were here, we got from you how you were able to become famous. But what I didn't get, which I forgot to ask, was how did you receive the name Guyanese Critic?
Well, the name Guyanese Critic could have been well thought out, because what was very important in the idea of becoming successful in media is inclusivity. So at the time, there were a lot of differences, and as you know, there's a lot of division, or in the past, there've been a lot of division in our country. Fortunately, the president has taken it upon himself to take the country in a direction of more of a one Guyana, compared to dividing and conquer. So I thought of what would be inclusive, what would be, would include everybody. And I thought about what I was going to do. So I was going to be the critic. And then what would I have been the critic for? Or the critic, what would I have been critiquing on?
Okay.
So hence Guyanese Critic. What would have been, there were a number of options. That's how I got the Hammer Man, because at the time I did just destroy the parking meters with the hammer. So the Hammer Man was also one considered. And if you go to YouTube and you type in Hammer Man, you'd realize we have a production, the Hammer Man production. So that was thought of. A few options, other options were thought of, and the best option at the time. And again, it was a nice sounding. Like when I first heard Guyanese Critic, I had to think, where will I take this?
Okay.
It wasn't worth anything because, putting together what was a Guyanese critic, what is a Guyanese critic, right? So after people start realizing what being a critic is about and what the Guyanese critic platform was about, then it started to catch on and that grew, and here we are today.
Okay, so you're looking at all aspects of Guyana and provide constructive criticism so that we all can grow together.
Well, that has been for the most part. Now, what happened, Marlon, and that's why I started with the parking meters. Mm-hmm. So the Guyanese Critic was conceptualized and the page was created 5 years before, in 2012.
Okay.
It's 2017, really, I come to the hammer thing. So a lot of thought was put into this because parking meters was the one thing that everybody agreed that we disagreed with the government on.
Okay.
At the time.
Yes, true.
So it was not about a side. It was not about a PVP or a PNC. It was about the people against the government at the time, mm-hmm. and against an oppressive, something that they thought was oppressive. Nor the details of it, but they thought it was oppressive. So you had the Amerindian man, you had the Indian man, you had the African man, everybody was on the streets. And I said to myself, this was the time, because there's no ideal time to launch and let people know that you are Guyanese Critic, you're for all Guyanese. So that too played a great part in, in launching, making sure that everybody was included.
I like it, and I love the fact that you were able to put some thought into this long before it actually came out.
But success, Marlon, has never been achieved without much thought, mm-hmm. and most people don't know that. Some people assume that what has happened by luck, right? But you can't sign a document on a glass of water. You understand?
Yes.
You got a table.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be prepared. You can't sign a document if you don't have a pen. Right? Mm-hmm. So having a pen in your pocket mightn't necessarily be but style, but might be your readiness that when the opportunity presents itself, you're there. You're willing to sign. You have a pen. Mm-hmm. So likewise, saying that you like that is well thought out. Success in general has to be well thought. You have to plan. The guys behind the scene. Now you're looking at the program. And the program is your program has turned out to be a very interesting one. But there's a lot of things behind the scene. How you plan your thing, how you do your thing, how the guys behind the scene, what goes on in the studio. Mm-hmm. So in general, for people to understand, they must know lots of planning goes into anything once it is successful. So if you see it here, scarum, and it's failed, much thought was not put into that, because to move forward, one would have had to think or put thought into what they want to do, when they want to do, how they want to do it, like you doing a conference that deals with financing. And help people to understand how to better get financing. Help the financiers to understand how to better serve people and make some more money for themselves. Right? It's a whole microcosm of things that's supposed to be going on in the entrepreneur's head. Mm-hmm. Right? How am I gonna do this? I just recently was talking to my son. I had a talk with my son. My son is a director. My youngest son is a director on one of my companies.
Okay.
So I asked him, I said, what do you want to do? And he said, Dad, and I just want to give you a little story, something to help your viewers. I don't want to take away from your time too much. He said, Dad, everything you got to get money. So I said, son, can you sell $1 million in hardware items and make $100,000 at month end? I said, do you think you can do that? And he said, yes, Dad, I think I can do it. I said, you are a director of a company that has a credit line with Gaffurs to the extent of millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. So I go to a man, I sell toilet bowl. I go to Gaffur, I will walk through Gaffur. If I was in this situation where I in the struggle, I coming up, right? There's my son. I ain't in any situation, but he's there. He's working his way up. He could get something extra, right? So I'm saying, I go to Gaffur, watch, see what Gaffur got. A man building a hotel, I go there and say, partner, I could give you these toilet bowls, you know. Now we got a workman. He's a director in a company that has plumbers and all these things. So you figure out, hey, man, you want to work Sunday? You want to do a piece of work Sunday? You talk to the plumber. Man say, yes, what you got to do? I say, well, you have no, me know yet what I got to do. But I'm going to look for something to do Sunday. So you go to all the hotels and say, man, here, I could give these toilet bowls at a discounted price. You understand? Because first thing is, we get a credit line, and then we also get a discount, right? So you go, you take the thing, you get to the man, you make sure Uncle Gaffur's get you money, mountain, yes, and you got the money. So a lot of times, the entrepreneur or the business person, and again, Marlon, this is something you got to take note of. The entrepreneur is not on a quest. Entrepreneurship, or the attainment of entrepreneurship, is the access of the success. So you can't be an entrepreneur vendor. Yes, a vendor is a vendor. When you attain the position, like how you work 4 years to get a degree, and they say you get a doctorate, you understand? No, you would have had to attain the success to be an entrepreneur. So everybody come around as an entrepreneur. No. You're not an entrepreneur if you have not attained the success.
Got it.
So those one of the mix-up things. You're vendor, you're hustler, you're business owner. You could be many things. But if you have not attained the success as yet, you have a lot of people. Entrepreneurship, and what really encapsulates what the entrepreneur is an individual who is very successful at finding solutions to problems.
Yeah.
So if you come and say, "Mommy, getting financing," you are not an entrepreneur, because you are supposed to bring forth a solution to the problem. The main fact that you have a complaint, you got a problem, you're not an entrepreneur. You out to the business.
And there are different qualities of an entrepreneur as well.
Well, if you give me how you break it down as the qualities of an entrepreneur.
Well, you must be able to take risk.
Yes.
You must be innovative and creative and determined. You must be able to plan and succeed. Those are some of the basic qualities.
Funny enough, if you have one or more of those parts, one would be negated immediately. You're not taking any risk, right? Because there's no risk in the unknown. That's the funny thing, right? There's no risk in the unknown. There's just unknown. No, who would have known that today I would be having a facility that does concrete piles? Let me tell you something, Marlon. This is for your viewers, and they could learn from this. I stood there. Feel very emotional saying this. I stood there. So I make this pile bed to the cost of millions of dollars. I'm doing this thing. And when the first pile hides out, so my heart sink. It raised, it sink. My heart rate went up. You know why? I was always in the unknown. I never did that before. You understand?
Yes.
But there was no risk. It was an effort by a number of people who have fair understanding of things that was guided by one who had a willingness.
Okay.
You understand? So again, fear is not a term I like using. You understand? Risk is not a term I like using, because I don't think there's any risk. When I look, no, the second set come out. And I stood there and I'm looking and I'm saying, Guyanese Critic. When I put the company's name on the crane, I'm driving across the Demerara Bridge and I'm looking out. And on the Island Gas area where Munishwars and so I'm seeing these cranes. And I look across to the other side of the Demerara River, just outside of Princess, there's a crane that marked the Pui. And I said, this you, boy. This you there, boy. You understand?
Yes.
Imagine though. And 6 months before, or a year before, I didn't know I would have dealt with crane. I know where I want to go. And it's always about one step ahead into the unknown. But who makes this? Who decides this? With the entrepreneur, it is you who decide what the narrative is. So there's no, fortunately for the entrepreneur, being a unique individual in mindset, there's no real guessing, there's no real risk. Because while I'm doing this, bear in mind, I must say, there are people of great character and background that are pondering. They look on and they say, you gonna make it, man? You understand? It's a matter of national discussion. And all you see in me discussing nothing, all you see is smoke. Because I'm moving. This trail blazing. You understand? So, it is my opinion that one should not have fear. One should be clear of fear when one is an entrepreneur. And the thought that there is some sort of risk should not be entertained because of the fact that it is you who decide where you're going to go, how you want to be perceived, and the Empire State Building. What would have gone into the creator's mind to build the empire, the tallest building at the time in New York City? You understand? What would he have seen? The pyramids are not as tall as that. There was nothing else in the landscape that was as tall as that. The Eiffel Tower of Paris, right? No, it is you. There's no risk. There's only reward, and one must, the entrepreneur, the business person, the individual who wants to succeed at what they're doing must remember that there is only reward. There are times that it will be an uphill battle to deliver on your aspirations and your dreams, right? There is an uphill battle, like with everything else. The relationship, dealing with a 3-year-old is a struggle, right? One has personal struggles, depression, and all these kind of things. So again, the entrepreneur should never entertain fear, and never see him or herself as taking risk. You're making informed decisions to the best of your ability. You see, one of the other things, Marlon, and I could leave with you quickly, is the energy that is going to take you anywhere is wholly and solely dependent on you.
Indeed, definitely.
The energy that is going to take you anywhere, right? So you can't expect to have a negative energy. Like nobody around me. My mother is a very God-fearing woman. And, like your grandmother, negative to the extreme extent. Your grandmother, buy your sure, buy you know you're going to do and this and that. And I, no way, shape or form. You got to decide. If you're going to be the entrepreneur, there's a crude shift to, there's a crude sense to the entrepreneur, right? So when it comes to me being an entrepreneur, I'm not the loving son that entertains my mother. My mother plays no part, shape. I would never discuss anything with my mother as it relates to my success. You understand? Or what I do.
You see, most of our parents, they would encourage us to get a job
Yeah,
and to go and work for somebody. And when it comes to going out, they don't want us to go out into the unknown. They prefer us to get a safe life. And this is, at the end of the day, we all trying to play safe and end up achieving nothing. Which comes to our point of discussion this evening, legacy. How do you want to be remembered? When people hear Guyanese Critic, how should persons view that?
As no other has been remembered before. Simple. It is simple put. Now, Forbes Burnham played an instrumental role in the politics of this country, in the independence of this country, and everything else. Just looking at the positives. Dr. Jagan played an instrumental role. We could have not been here today and having these discussions if it was not for these two gentlemen. But they're only remembered, for the most part, one time a year, and then on their death anniversary, and then when it suits the narrative of others. I want to be remembered like I am remembered today, at the center of every discussion, at the center of every controversy. People must ask themselves, what would have Guyanese Critic said or done? He was a trailblazer. He spoke out, openly, vulgarly about religion, about race and everything else. He was crude. He was, to some extent, an unkept man, but he was a trailblazer. He did well for himself. He made successes in areas where success was not known. He overcame hardships that were thought of being impossible. A lot of time when people advise me, like, I am the only person I know. I haven't Googled it, but I'm the only person that I know that had a sitting minister protesting in front of my house. Never before I've ever heard about government officials protesting a private citizen. I had that. I am here today, brother. This studio was built after that happened. Many people have tried to bring me down, right? And I still continue to grow. Many people are confused about my narrative sometimes, my intention, what my program is, right? So it is not as to how I want to be remembered. I know how I will be remembered, because there will be no, like you could say, the Indians in this country could say, Dr. Jagan is our founder leader. And the blacks in this country could say, Burnham. You understand? So there are two people that would have served the same purpose. There would have been many professors at the university. There would have been many doctors who would have achieved great things and would have been outdone. But I can tell you, as I live today, I have stopped going on the road and cover the news like I did in the past. And nobody, not a young boy, not a rich man and a young boy, not a news agency, not all the news agencies come together, can't do what I did. I'm a living example of doing the unthinkable. I've risen to the top as it relates to the media against all odds. Fought with two governments, two oppositions, and risen to the top. While people have been castigated and cast aside for the things that I do, right? I've survived all of that because I have an independent mind and thought process. You understand? So I wouldn't say how I want to be remembered. I know how I will be remembered. And the main fact that I'm remembered is the important things. I'm going to make sure I leave books as to, the process of life and the things that I have done. No, I trailblazing as it relates to health. When I fast, me doctors tell me, you sure what you're doing? But you look, your eye got, what happened to you? I was jogging this morning, 4 o'clock, boss. Me alone and God on the streets of Georgetown. The Guyanese Critic. And I'm running and I'm thinking, am I the only man in this whole city that wants to be healthy? Where is everybody else doing their thing? Mm-hmm. How are they doing their thing? I am jogging. Me knees giving up on me. I worrying. I gotta come. We doing this. I doing construction. I gotta do my little media thing. I gotta do my life program. I've lost 60 pounds in 6 months.
Nice.
I have succeeded at everything that I have done and put my mind to. So, how I want to be remembered? People are going to hate, some are going to love, some are going to be inspired. Providing that I'm remembered, I'll be very much satisfied. And I know that's a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. Like today, how people are surprised, and it is only me that they see in this likeness and fashion. If you look, Marlon, people who never have been known or nobody wouldn't pay mind to, if you mention my name, if you post a picture of me, if you try to make a laugh or you say something good or bad about me, it attracts attention to you right away. I do one morning program. Just come out in the morning, do the best of my ability, something that's a feat. Mm-hmm. Is it to pull off a program? It's got structure. Me and know what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do. In Creolese form, attract a gathering. You understand? Motivate people. Blazing by myself. So when you put those things out there, it's not how I want to be remembered. The main fact that I'm remembered, and I'm hoping that for the most part, a few people learn in a positive way. I hope it's more positivity, right? Mm-hmm. So,
what advice would you give to young persons who were in business and might be thinking about aligning with a particular party? Because we find when governments change, sometimes your business punish. So what advice would you give to a young person?
But there's no first thing, there's no need to align yourself. What individuals don't know, Banks DIH, DDL, Hanson McCall, all the big companies just give both parties a bag. So you give the PPP, when they're in power, enough money. If you want to get them a raise, you give the PPP money and you give the PNC money. Depends on who they're in power or who you like. Mm-hmm. You understand? So you give a donation, you understand? You do. Now, the entrepreneur who's trying to grow, what purpose does it serve you to be aligned with the party? Let me say you're voting, right? The young business person, what purpose did it serve you to come out and wave flags? You understand? Have you put thought not into the political ramifications, but the public ramifications as they're relating to offend people? Because imagine you selling cocoa rice from Buxton Line Tap and use a known PPP. How much cocoa price do you think you're selling? You need to concentrate on cocoa price. You understand? Imagine use a known PNC butcher in Bath Settlement. How successful you think you're going to be? Or Blackbush. I could tell you you're not going to be successful because they got a lady there. Go she butcher shop the bun and so, and the PNC going to build back a place for the church thing. Even with building back the place doesn't do nothing. Nobody buys nothing from them. So you got to decide if you want to get into politics or you want to get into business. So I could say clearly, you need not be in around politics if you're doing business. Whoever you vote for is your thing. Whoever you support is your business. You understand? You need not getting into politics. You're either in or you're out. No need to associate with politics if you're getting into business. Because what you need is the widest scope of customers, which suggests PNC and PPP. If you choose a side, you limit yourself in your customer base. You understand? And you don't need that with your business. You need to have a wide range of people that you can access. You do not want to alienate anybody when you're in a business. You understand?
Why I ask is because on several occasions I would interact with people and they're saying for you to get contracts from the government, you need to align.
No. You need to align to get contracts with the government. Let me tell you something. This is inside. This is inside. The government is going to everybody and anybody and giving them work. I go bluntly say not because they want to be inclusive. They can't do better. You ever tell you? At this time, with the progress that is going on in this country, everybody getting work because the government has no option. We'd have to bring people from outside. They are churning out roads like mad. You got bus driver and conductor is contractor now. You understand? So, again, if you come as a fair contractor, and there are many contractors that don't have any alignment, if you come and you come straight, you bid on all these things, you will get jobs. If you align yourself one side, how are you now going to come and say, if you're PNC, non-PNC, you out waving flags, making problem, blocking place, burning thing. How you come and say now, oh, when I come, I don't get work for the PB. You gotta get you people to take care of you, man. You understand? You can't wave a flag and if your contract, you come and say, man, I need a little job, I gotta take care of my family, I creating jobs. You think when investors come in this country, the government asking them, and any government, this is not a PVP, PNC thing. Any government, the PNC never used to ask people, so, yes, PVP or PNC? You're an investor. Because you come with your hand clean. But you can't want to come, we see you wave a flag, we know what is your program, buddy? What's your program? How you come to me to help you? You gonna care back the money and give the people them? Where I want to buy gas? Where's your program? You know, we try to be fair or try to discuss fairness, but you don't want to see it fairly and you don't want to talk about it fairly. You understand? No, like the people who run at Mondrepo and broke up Moripo market, come down from Haslington and up the side and burn up and broke up things. So you're no instigator, you support a certain political party, and yes, you think you could still come and get something? Nah, man, we gotta be realistic. It's like you name a shying battle, but you come over and say, oh, because of inclusiveness, because everybody's supposed to get something in Guyana. That's madness. That is insanity. You understand? When you see somebody and they say, as you said, they complain to you, we ain't getting jobs, so what's your alignment? Right away. Because if you come and let me say, I want to be vindictive with you. Let's say the government of the day wants to be vindictive. On what base? So when you come, the only way you could be vindictive is your PNC and you're looking to me for help. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? I can't be vindictive if me know something about you. I know by the time you walk in somebody all of this banner thing, he's there breaking everything, he's there talking for them people and that. How can I support you to bring me down? It's insanity. If you come and when they do the resort, let me say let's do the resort, just check however they do it. They ain't got no record of you in they in the PVP and they in the PNC and then you just a contract, you're hustling. You understand? You come out to university, you get like goal. Are the business people not getting opportunities? But you gotta remember there's money you get in your hand. But what goal? What were the mothers that get in house that? What were the cash grant? We're going to everybody. How is only business people being discriminated against? You understand? Because they want to get it easy. They want to play both sides, both hands. It can't work like that. I can't support you for bringing me down. Simple as that. I can't support you to bring me down. And I'm telling you, you don't have to be new. You not align. I'm around circles and I know. You can't go and join the PNC or the PPP bus. I can tell you, Marlon, they ain't want nobody. They're very serious and tight-knit with the circle. They say, you believe you could walk in Congress and they sign up, or you walk in Freedom House and they sign you up? No. Yes, they want people in there, in the circle. So me know how your aligning is every work. They're mad with the outside going and wave like you there into business, stay into business, don't get tied up in politics.
Exactly, beautifully put. Because business people and stuff, I believe they should be independent. They should.
But everybody, Marlon.
Exactly.
It's an unspoken word. Everybody. They see something going on. If they were asked for a donation, there is ghee. But when you come and start putting flag when you place, and you have chosen, you have drawn a line, a battle line. Nobody does that. You understand? Don't you think, how is Microsoft, how is everybody surviving after consecutive governments, Republican and Democrat government? They have to be taking care of everybody. You understand? It's a cycle of life.
Well, in my view, political parties can campaign as much as they like. But when I go to the ballot box, I know I put in my X. Nobody else should know that.
Yeah.
So me coming out and align with anybody and say, well, X, Y, Z. So similarly, I believe, apart from blocking up flags and stuff that you mentioned, governments generally should look after everybody.
If you go to the Small Business Bureau, Marlon, they don't ask if it's a PNC or a PB.
No.
You understand? Now, in my case, although I'm talking it, people don't know who's the Pui group. When I been awarded contracts and I say, critic it. I kid you not. I got a process and here. We got 2 contracts we doing over the road, 1 road over the river. 1 road is just completed. Well, but 2-3 weeks now. We completed another road that had a little dispute. We get it started out. I bid for 100 and something contracts. We only got 2 as a result of competitive bidding. If you're going to check the process, you'd realize that we were the lowest bidders. So if with the 2, well, that was the only 2 that our engineers were able to come in at the right price. So if I didn't get the right price with those 2, I would not have had any. What am I to say? Who's now seen publicly as people suggest as a PPP supporter, Jagdio friend, and everything else. What I was to say if I didn't come in at the right price and was not competitive and get the contract, I was supposed to cry wolf, that man I did with y'all. No. You have prescribed to a competitive bidding process. And I'm telling you, I bid for 100 roads. Yes, sir? $2,000 for some bid, $5,000 for some bid. We bid like mad. And I only got 2. And when we go down to the crux of the matter, you realize we were only competitive with 2. What am I to say? You understand? I'm glad for that. I would highly suspect my construction company would not be treated favorably if government changed, right? Because of my stance. But knowing me, I myself might be a little government by the time them ever come back.
Well, that's funny because somebody just said that to require of the country would need a vote for you to be president.
Well, when I started this thing, Marlon, I'll be honest with your viewers. I said it before, but maybe not clearly. I had political aspirations, but I really and truly wanted to help people. So I thought if I was in control, I could help people. At this time, I could call the Minister of Public Works within Ministry of Public Works, Mr. Indar, and have things done, have people needs met. I could request a hearing from the president and have him address issues that are affecting people. I could request most ministers a hearing from them and have them hear people's problems. So the mere fact that, people say, Critic, we see you out there no more, because I used to gotta basically cost to get the past administration to look at things, and they never paid attention to anything. And people say now, Critic is a PVP because he ain't cussing. No. As get the same Kyles. It's just that the method used to address the issues, highlight the issues and everything else is different. I know in a position that if there's a problem, I could send a message to GPL and say, man, a post breaking down there, you gotta fix these people posts. If there's a leak, I could send the guy and say, yeah, I gotta do this. So people want to know why I ain't cussing. But it's not that I ain't looking after the problem, it's that I need to cuss anymore. You understand? Because the problems are being addressed. You understand? So I choose, you can't have somebody who is brash as I am. I look at the vice president and I look at the president and I look at this kind of, this level of statesmanship that they express. I don't have that. I don't have that ability to look at BS and express some suave in this is okay and this and them banner trying to get votes. My intention is to help people and make change in whatever little way I can. I've been very impactful so far. But me ain't got them qualities. Like people say, become the horse will become mayor. Right? Me being the mayor would be a disaster for Georgetown. You understand? I would take a bulldozer, bobcat, and bulldozer all the vendors off the pavement, and people are not supposed to be there. That's how it gotta be dealt with. You understand? Because I don't see no other way and how to deal with it. And that wouldn't be the right way and the ideal way at this time. You understand? When I looking at them, I looking at them as a menace to society. You have a government, right, that wants to do and would nimble and take their time and be very selective in how they're doing. You understand? Like the government negotiated with the squatters at Moko. I wouldn't negotiate with anybody. If you're doing something illegal, you gotta move out from that partner. Quick. You understand? Me watching, they got a little check. Me straight, wrong or right. That doesn't play well into politics. I wouldn't make a good politician, right? I did. The platform was built based on that, and the intention was to run someday for something. But in light of my crude method of delivery, I wouldn't make a good politician. I would be a disaster for people if given a task to do. Me ain't going wrong. Cause me got time with who vex, how you feel. If you cuss me, if you offended, I don't operate like that. You understand? I operate outside. Once there's wrong and right, I operate outside of the ambits of feelings. I just going through like a bulldozer. So I wouldn't be the ideal person to go after politics. Yeah.
So what would the greatest expression of the Guyanese critic look like?
Greatest expression of the Guyanese critic. Break it down for me. Where you want me? Where you say the greatest expression?
Fulfilling your purpose, your calling.
Oh. The only thing that I've always sought after, and I think is going to be the most impactful thing, and I now see that with the youth, is the fact that the youth who follow the Guyanese critic, the youth who are aspired by the Guyanese critic, the youth who would emulate the Guyanese critic, they're instilled with a certain principle. And I've learned that from, because I I say some things that could be very outlandish. And I am really out there sometimes with my language. Whether it's being rude, whether it's seen as arrogant. What people see as arrogance, I see as confidence. But I continually see people say, oh, my daughter is a fan. So when I look at this little child, I'm thinking, beautiful kid, this is like a little Dali. And I'm calculating, your daughter following me? You know, it's go off one time just unhinged, right? And then I think, well, if there's a young girl that knew this man and saw me and followed me and listened to their mother following me, I think men in the household would know how to treat women if they follow me. I think women would know how they should be treated. You understand? Because I talk about this thing, I talk about abuse, I talk about different things. So the greatest thing I would suggest is the inner confidence that is brought from what people see me do and the experiences that people have vicariously through me. So it gives that confidence. People know it's possible. You understand? And then I'm very open. So I'm saying what I'm doing. You know, I always push in. So I think there's a part of the young generation that's going to be imparted with them. People know that even in my hairstyle, right? A lot of thought is put into people in how they look. Well, look at me. Eyes ruggedy rug. Yes, but I still grow. So is it that? Is it how you look that makes you a success? Well, obviously not. The critic has proven that wrong. You understand? I wake up in the morning when my hair is done bad and I wake up in the morning and stop shave. You understand? How does that work? One morning I wake up and my whole face gonna shave and my head gonna bald. You understand? Because it does not matter. And that is not the definition of who you are. So if it is just me expressing this unique way about me that is imparted with the people, I think that would be my greatest expression, transferring that confidence, people knowing that, anything is possible. The critic has shown that it is possible.
So knowing all that you know right now, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I would not, the honest truth is I would not, what my younger self was, and let me give quick and capture that, drinking, cheating, husband, wild kid, loose with money. Do I go back and warn myself? What would I have become? You understand? Do I go back and warn myself? If I was more prudent earlier, if I had read more, things might have been different. So I don't want to change anything. I don't want to go back into the matrix and change anything, basically. But if I could leave, you got me there. But if I could leave one thing to myself, is read more. My successes to date is highly dependent on me, further educating myself in specific fields that I go after. Read a lot. I look at a lot of documentaries and so on. So all I would say, I wouldn't tell myself to change anything, because the experiences that I've had has brought me here today. So I might have been a better husband. If I go and warn myself now, let me say I was given the opportunity to go back in a capsule, I might have been a better father. I might have been a better husband. But I obviously would have not been the Guyanese Critic. I could not have achieved these heights by not having or going through the cycle of experiences that I went through. So the only thing, and if I'm saying, I'm telling myself, people are going to look at, yes, what they can do in their lives too, beforehand, instead of reinventing the wheel. The only thing I would tell myself is read more, because I would have accumulated more knowledge at an earlier age and would have been able to make most likely more informed decisions earlier. But I'm 43 years of age, Marlon, and I can say billions of men have not achieved what I have achieved in just now 5 years. So I've put aside all that are my past experience. So, I'm looking at 5 years now, what I've come back with, the knowledge that I've attained from the past, with the good, the bad, and the ugly experiences. And, so read more. That would be it. Read more. Knowledge is power.
And as you're in construction, are there any challenges that you were able to face currently?
We face daily challenges. So I think your question would be, are there challenges that I'm overcoming, and what those challenges are? So because of my method of management, we constantly have challenges. There's always a push, but there needs to be a balance. Like today, one of the engineers were talking about laborers that we have on the site, how secure they are, documentation for them, and these kind of things. So we got to look at it. Those are challenges. We've been having an admin problem. Our workers, our foremen, our engineers are great because it's very fixed as what they do. So it's fixed. And once you train somebody, you get over with that. But in the admin sector, to get a good, we last accountant, he had a woman problem, and every time you get somebody, they can't deliver as expected. So there are challenges, nothing that can't be overcome, but they're varying and wide. What I can say, if it is to edify your viewers, is you look at it as one of the aspects of the business. So I like the fact that you use the term challenges. It's a challenge, and that you too, when thinking about the challenge that you're faced with at the time, you can say to yourself, "This too shall pass." Because of my experience, because of the fact that I've won thousands of times, when something presents itself, I think, well, so it has to be done now, or we can't get it done now, well, we'll do it tomorrow. You understand? Let's sleep on it. No worry. You understand? Put a halt to operations. Let's sleep on it. There's no push. Because I can tell you, there are contractors who work tirelessly, running the head over heels, this body around, that body, do the whole day, cost on the work site. We don't get them. We have no problems. We have a construction site that have 40 odd workers and nobody raises their voice. You can't stand up and hear nobody. Nobody speaks to the tone. This is a construction site, buddy. You can go for a man hollering, man cussing. You understand? How the leadership structure works and how things are organized. So when I roll into the work site, I well dress. You understand? I come out my car, I put on my helmet, I put on my jacket. I's the boss. I could do what I want to do. It does not work that way. You understand? I don't go talking down to people. So what's going on, how it's going on. If there's somebody that I don't need to talk to, no reason to talk to them. You got some people their interests, and that's why they're always having problems, not challenges. Because problems are created, it's innate. They have these problems. When we, like the first pile that we did, damaged. Because the piles are 80 feet long, 16 by 16, and it's in a very tight slot. It's like a drain. When they heist one side, they heist the other, and then they try to heist the pile in the middle. And the weight of the pile, it crushed on itself. Not a result of the pile fall. They did 20 something after that, no problem. Everything perfect. So what it was a lacking of knowledge. You understand? It's the first time. Me never had a crane before. Me never had a pile operation before. So the first pile was the first experience. I did not say anything. I attributed that, which summed up to about $1 million, to the cost of learning. You understand? Right away. Me know me not gonna broke them up. Them banner when you see they operating now, they got more than one strand. They got 3 positions. What is hold the pile now? They learn. And next man, big cost up. Hey man! Next thing, your workers them now, always they in fear for trying new things. They don't want to push boundaries because they know you could get cost for that. You could get problem for that. You understand? No. We expect you to follow certain guidelines. But if there are bounds that can be pushed, if there are areas that can be tested, so be it. You understand? That is what it takes, the learning curve that is needed. You understand? Once it is within safe parameters, we are going to do that. You understand? So a lot of time the problems that people face is their own doing and own creation.
So the labor shortage that many people cry out for, that does not affect you?
No. From time to time. But once you pay people well, like I don't have a high staff turnover. When we get staff, nobody leaves. We just end up with shorter staff when a new project starts. And then you need some more staff. But once we hire people, like today we were having a discussion with the laborers. We have some laborers from the Northwest. And no, them guys is not from here. So we're studying, give the guys them the money and let them do what they want to do. A lot of them, young guys and so on, come from the Amerindian communities. They're going to drink all the money, eat all the money, they don't have nothing. So we get them money and we make sure we provide their food for them. Yes, so they don't drink it out and eat it out for food. We had to have a discussion with them because it would be better for me just to get them money and let them do whatever they want to do. Right? Yes. But because they lack the management, the ability to manage their own little thing, you have to guide them. A hurdle that we come upon, and you find a solution.
Yes.
With the best interest of your people. Because we have to hire staff. Now we've just hired 15 staff that will be working throughout the night. So when the piles are prepared, the tie for the night, next morning, concrete is poured. It has to be a constant 24-hour operation for it to be efficient. So as you find the problems, but again, it comes down to your management method and how you treat people, no matter what you do. I'm not there, Marlon. I was there in my bed sleeping. There's a guy out there that is doing a job that benefits me. It benefits him too. And I can tell you, when the days when I used to work at estate when I was a laborer, so I worked my ass off. We're paying him, but nonetheless, he's out there. He's watching my back. You understand? How is he expected to be treated? The least you could give a man is a little respect. You understand? No matter who he is, the security guard, no matter, the least you could give he. It doesn't take anything out of you to give him a little respect. And the thing is, respect coming from a man like me sometimes could mean ain't telling you nothing. Because if you pay attention to me, people say, boy, this man is very arrogant and this and that. And me workers, when the wives, me workers tell me, we sit down a day, them by taking a drink, and they sit down and say, boss, you know, you is nothing like what people say you is. You understand? So that respect imparted on them from me, the Guyanese critic, goes even further than the regular businessman, the regular business owner, you know, because they know that man is a messed up man. But look at how he deals with us. And then they come to realize that this here is solution to problem. As the problem arises, the man deals with it. How do you expect me to talk to somebody? You can't give people respect or call and attack and nonsense. And what respect is? It has nothing to do with respect. People say, oh, critic is very arrogant. You understand? It's not arrogant. I'm confident about what I'm doing. That's not arrogance. You understand? I tell you like it is. We are not living in a society where people drawing guns at Starbucks. Is that the same society we living in? How do you expect me not pastor, me not preacher man? You understand? I'm the Guyanese critic. And I've taken a stance. I have a position or positions on most things, and I just got a brute force and ignorance method of dropping it out there. Basically though.
Nice. So, as we close, the inscription that will be placed on your tombstone when you go, what would you want it to read?
I haven't put much thought into that, but I did it my way. Yeah, I think that would encapsulate everything. I did it my way. Yeah. Never done before. Went up against all odds. I talk the way me want to talk, say what me want to say, when me want to say, how me want to say, against who I want to say it, and still succeeded. I did it my way.
Interesting. And I like that because I see several times you would get up and you would post. For instance, this morning we're talking about understanding purpose. And you just flow with a discussion and persons are able to tune in and comment meaningfully. And you hold your attention from start to finish. And several days you continue to turn up and persons are always wondering what is next for the critic. They can't predict anything because every time it's something new, it's something spontaneous, and it's just like, wow, does critic actually sit down and plan this thing, or we just flow naturally?
No. As one of our saying goes, I can't make up these things. I can't make. A lot of times I don't know. I kid you not. I can't make up these things. You understand? Yeah. So, yeah, I did it my way.
And I love the fact that you were able to dedicate time to share with young business people so that they can understand the ropes and understand how to maneuver some of the challenges.
I'm hoping I could do more. So I'm looking at after 2025, I'll be really dedicating more time and effort into imparting knowledge with people. I think there's no greater purpose than serving humanity. I'm daunted sometimes, Marlon, because I do extremely well for myself. And it's a struggle when you go out there and you fight for people, and then you look at the comments and you hear what they have to say about you and so on. And then I realize a lot of times I have created this atmosphere. So you can't want to say anything you want to say and have control over what people say. So I go past that. But what is more really gets to me, and I have my weaknesses, and my weakness is failure. So what really gets to me is when I impart genuine knowledge with them, and they don't learn, they don't see, you know. But a lot of people, what the highlights of my days is when people call and say, critic, we look forward to you for this, and critic, thank you for this. And when I go to work in the morning, when I come down in the morning and see the guys sashing, come down early in the morning, and I'm looking at where he has come from, what he's doing. I look at his dad, I look at Candace, sitting here thinking, wow, recently me and Candace, and she said, Boss, do you revel in this thing? How do you feel about all these achievements? And sometimes I am so taken up. You know, I'm sitting in TBN studios and like it's just amazing.
Several people come here and must be like, wow. They're surprised. They can't believe that it's an actual studio we sit down in, and they don't understand what's really going on here too. But I always tell people, everybody has a story to be told. All of your experiences, negative or positive, they help to shape who you are. And when we look at these big motivational speakers, Les Brown and so on, those are people with same experiences like us. What makes their story more different and more interesting than ours?
Well, it's just that they tell it. Not much of a big different story. We've all had hardships. We've all had successes in different form. We all have weaknesses. We all have untapped strengths. So I think that is why I need to come out more. But I didn't want to come out like I don't take a picture every day. I'm working towards a six pack, and people tell me, Critic, you lose a lot of weight, stop now. I don't stop. When I wake up in the morning, I run every other day, and I've never done that in my life. I've never been athletic. I've never done any physical exercise. I've always been lazy, and I choose that this is what I have to do for this period of time. And when I go there, all I do is think about completing the task, not whether I'm going to run tomorrow, whether what I'm going to... No. It is not optional. I give myself that task and I complete it. This morning, I'm calculating, you're waking up in the morning, you're going to exercise, then you come, you're late for your program. You're lacking here, son. You need to organize yourself. Because I talk to myself. I said, bro, you're lacking here. You got to organize yourself. People are expecting things from you. You can't be this way all the time. You understand? Discipline is going to work good for you. How are we going to do it? Bam. 4 o'clock this morning.
No, but how do you come about with the old discipline? Because of going, for instance, the exercising in the mornings. Then you get up and be like, oh gosh, we need to go this morning.
No, well,
people waiting on me.
Well, I don't have that option. I don't give myself the option. The option of my mood. Like I recently did a program where I had diarrhea for 4 days and went and run. And so now I'm running, I'm thinking, you could get blacked out here. Well, so be it. You understand? Me thinking where I gonna get blacked out, where I gonna fall down, has nothing to do with the completion of the task. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't do a one day for feel. How you feel is your problem, partner. Because what I've done, I've been able to do is separate mind from body. So really and truly, I run in this thing. So body, you could broke up, you could fall down if you want to fall down. It's your business, but we go in. So I don't have an option of waking up in the morning, I'm feeling the vibes. Every time I go to run, I got problem with one of my knee. I damaged this knee on Mount Pacorima, climbing the Mount Pacorima. One of the Pacorima mountain peaks. And I got problem with the knee. So when I start to run, this knee is hooked. It gives a knee jerk and so. And I start, I do my first one. Once the body heats up, it goes. And I know that. I don't do, yes, I got this knee problem. No.
I like that, separate mind from body.
You got separate mind from body.
Because a lot of times we find our mind is willing to do things, but our body is feeling tired.
So we got to push it.
And I was listening to a motivation that says if you never really conquer your mind, then you're never fully prepared, because it all starts within your mind.
Within your mind.
And you've got to command your body. So regardless whether you're feeling tired, whether you feel like pushing your business, you got to get up and say, well, it is what it is, and I'm going to push forward. You got to start behaving as though you're crazy and you're just getting things done. People must be able to wonder where all of the energy, the excitement, the drive is coming from.
Yeah, like I don't have alarm clock and them thing, Marlon. I don't have an alarm clock. religiously, I wake up at about 4:15 in the morning.
Well, I guess that is attributed to the 21, 90 days. When you say when you do something for 21 days, it starts to become a habit, so you no longer need clock. Interesting.
But, you know, for business people developing good ideas, good habits and good practices. And the thing is, one has to, if you look at everybody who is successful, you look at Jeff Bezos, you look at Mark Zuckerberg, you look at the successful people and you realize they have been successful personally too. So success in business does not go without success in person. Because what then is the purpose? You understand? Like your kingpin, you know the kingpin. Kingpin is a big fat man with a set of money. You understand? Got some girls sit down. There's the extent of your life? No. You want to live a healthy, long, productive life. So it goes in part. You can't go separate. You understand? When I started being or seeing successes in business, I realized you can't be drinking. I go to some friends. I was in Berbice recently, and I go to friends, I say, I'm gonna kill it tonight. We gonna brawl. You understand? And I sit down and think liquor there, everything there. Because it's my friend, there's a band I like. He come from Essequibo. He scared me all about the place. He's there in Heat Club and all them things now. I said, we go kill it. You see, 8:45, 9 o'clock I sleep. You see, 8:45, I get up, I say, well, no. I can't make this thing, Bano. You understand? I got sleep. This man is 27 years young, Bano. He friends and everybody line me. They carry me to 63 Beach. I see people passing up and down there, say, Louis, walk and go up. So I say, walk and go where? Me dep on them thing, the Bano, you understand? I just dep on a whole different process. If you ask me to do something that is going to benefit me, and when you're thinking about things, people say, oh, drinking and sporting and feeling nice benefits you. No, that doesn't benefit you. There is a short-term gratification in drinking and having a ball, but it doesn't benefit you because it has detrimental effects in the long run. You understand? So that don't benefit you. Don't tell me this benefit you. The only thing I'm waking up in the morning for is run, go to my business, do my program, things that benefit me. And once I keep doing that, like normally I would have gone and done something. I would have not made special effort to come on this program. When you messaged me just now, I think I forget the timing, but I'm calculating. I could have gone to do something else. I always got something else I want to do. I got money for spend, go around and walk around and look fancy. No, but this is important. Imparting knowledge with people, you understand? Assisting you in your endeavors, this is important. So you concentrate on that. What benefits you? You know? Not the short-term gratification. Benefits and gratification is two different things. Because when I'm doing this, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for my workers. I'm doing this to build an empire, to build a legacy. I'm doing this for my boys, for them to see. Paul is there upstairs, they're sleeping, but he knows when I call, he can't say, Dad, man. Yes, I mean lying down upstairs and Alan, Paul get up and no. He hear tumbling thing 4 o'clock in the morning. When he waking up and Alan never go pee. Me now come back from running, then go and do a program, and then dep on the work said before he reached there. You understand? You got to play catch up, boy. He's 19 years of age, and I mean playing no game with he. Last night, he there pushing in sand by some people in Horstelling. You believe I care? Say, oh, it's my son, and maybe he's tired. No. You get rest in the morning. You just wake up 8 o'clock. You understand? You're surely going to make sure it come out back in the night. You're a night person? Yes, I got thing for you. You understand? And when I done, what I do is 8 o'clock, I go in my bed. When there's a time for sleep, I make sure, not because I'm tired. I'm not tired, I can do more work. I do it because I need 8 hours of rest. I need to rejuvenate. I need to have a balanced diet and all these things. Do these things with purpose, for benefit. So this was what it's all about.
I like it. Beautifully put. It's always a pleasure to have you in our program. Whenever you come, we learn a whole lot. So I want to thank you for taking time out from your schedule. And we definitely will implement some of what you thought into our lifestyle. Discipline, consistency. Those are things that are essential for us to succeed in life. So on behalf of all of the persons, the followers of Entrepreneurship in Focus, we want to say thank you for being on our program.
Thank you for having me,
It was a
Marlon.
pleasure to have you. All right.
Always a pleasure to be here with you.
All right. So I am Marlon Joseph signing out. Do take care for now.